Welcome to Middlebrook Fiberworks. Today I'm going to show you how I warp the Schacht School loom. Here I'm getting ready to teach a class on mini weavings, so I'll only be warping part of the loom. The first thing I do is snip off a bit of yarn that I'll be using as a marker. I'm counting 19 teeth or dents from the right side. I place my marker, and then with the warp yarn, I'll count 19 from the left side. I find that this will give me a finished piece that's about 10 inches wide. To begin, I loop the warp yarn around the 19th tooth and tie a double knot. I make the knot about 2 inches from the top. I find that it's easier to weave in the end of the knot when I'm weaving the body, so I don't want the end sticking out the top. Then, I count 19 from the left on the bottom and insert the warp yarn into the 20th dent. Since I'll be weaving with my chunky hand-spun yarn and roving, I'm only going to warp every other dent. The warp yarn that I'm using is a sturdy cotton yarn with a metallic copper thread that's been plied around the cotton. In tapestry weaving, the warp will mostly disappear, but it can be a visible part of the bottom fringe. You can work the color of the warp into your design by having a color that's a high contrast from the weft, and by leaving a deliberate open space where only the warp is visible. When choosing a yarn for the warp, I look for a yarn that's sturdy and relatively smooth. I also like to work with yarn on a cone so I can load the cone into my Lazy Kate. I continue to warp until I reach the marker on the top. I remove the scrap marker and I bring the warp down one last time. Cut the yarn leaving about 4 inches. Tie a double knot around the last tooth, and this knot can be right at the dent since it'll be trimmed with the fringe. And that's it. Happy weaving!